Picture a world without characters, a canvas devoid of colors, and a cinema stripped of its magic. In the realm of cinema, characters are the brushstrokes that paint a portrait of an actor's prowess. Today we embark on a journey to unravel the profound connection between characters and acting. Hi, I'm Scriptomaniac, here to talk about stories. Stories that speak to you, characters that teach, enlighten, and maybe even touch you. Here to talk about movies that stayed with me. In our previous video, we embarked on an enchanting journey into the characters that are played by our one and only Shahrukh Khan. Today we continue that odyssey by delving into two iconic characters that have left an indelible mark on the silver screen and in our hearts. These characters are more than just roles. They are a testament to SRK's unmatched talent and versatility. So sit back, relax, and let's unravel the magic of Shahrukh Khan's unforgettable characters. Kabhi Haan, Kabhi Na. Hindi cinema, especially during the 90s, struggled to bring us characters that were closer to life. We either got heroes who were extremely righteous and incapable of making any kind of mistakes, or we got anti-heroes who sometimes had the right intentions with wrong attitudes, or the other way around. In the decade where Hindi cinema was split into many channels of exploration, we had makers picking scripts from the south and other regions and making them suitable for Hindi-speaking audience, while others were finding their voice of our society. Then we had the usual parade of love stories in every possible way. Well, not every way, I guess. During this era of exploration and larger-than-life heroes came Sunil, a character who lived down your street or a friend's friend, or might have even been you. Sunil, a boy next door who fails his exams often, is lazy about 100 things, makes excuses to get out of errands, but not when it comes to his passion, his music, who loves a girl like it's the last thing he will do. Sunil is not perfect and is capable of devious things like bad-mouthing the girl he likes to cut off her other suitors. He is undoubtedly flawed but also carries a heart that cares. He couldn't see his parents celebrate a lie for long, nor could he go on ahead and marry a girl whom he knew loved someone else. He also proudly stood as the best man at the very wedding he dreamed to be the groom of. Sunil didn't just leave his audience there, but when he met Juhi in the climax, he showed us that moving on as a part of life which would have left the young boys in the audience with much more positive impression. The innocence and goofiness that SRK brought to this role and made this character so relatable and closer to life. Boys like me have always had a movie to go back to and cheer ourselves up. Whether it was in terms of not being understood by parents, or sometimes being lonely after being misunderstood by friends, or even when we have our hearts broken. We had a movie and a character that spoke to us about us. I remember seeing this movie as a 5-year-old in the theatre, and that was the day I took SRK home in my mind and in my heart. 0. Shahrukh Khan over the years has seen multiple failures, and in fact a sequence of failures in the past decade itself. This movie, along with few other ventures like Fan, failed miserably. For me personally, the second half could not hold the essence and wonder that they were going for in the first half. There is a general underlying expectation from him to do something beyond his SRK image that he has created for himself. Audience have even the complaints that any character he does has that glimpse of SRK. It is true to an extent. However, in my opinion, Bauua was the most non-SRK character we have seen in the past decade or more. Even though the movie's main selling point was that SRK is playing a person of short stature, but the character of Bauua was more than that. I went into the movies, or even before the trailer dropped, I assumed for it to be a movie about social challenges of a person with this physique, which would be the usual handling of the topics of this nature. My expectation honestly was one-dimensional character who would show his struggles on face and in the story. But it took me by surprise how layered the character of Bauua was. He turned out to be a selfish, self-centered and very insecure man who thought he can resolve everything with money. Even before someone could point out his shortcoming, he would stuff their mouth with money, as his mother's character conveys in the movie about him. In the first half of the movie, when Baua's character was at its peak, you could see SRK having a ball with this character. It was so unlike anything he had done in the past. He had done outright bad guys, he had done negative shades who were larger than life. But him playing a small-time regular guy with any kind of insecurities, which could be any one of us. For the first time on screen, SRK was unapologetically selfish and did not shy away from doing any mean things to his friend, his love interest, and even to his family. He played a character so close to home after some time. I'm sure if this was played by some other person, we would not hold back from detesting the character. But since it was SRK, the most loved person in the country, arguably, it took us a minute to process that he could be playing something like this. But by the time we were ready to process Bauua, the movie started crashing and lost our focus from the brilliant performance we were seeing to what was the story trying to say. The shortcomings in the story and the following up on what they had set up in the first half led to a miserable performance. But no one can raise a finger saying that it had anything to do with SRK and how he treated the character. We, after a long time, got to see SRK the actor and not SRK the star like everyone wanted. But unfortunately, it did not receive the recognition it should have. Credits to the makers for not limiting Bauua and his story to just his physical shortcoming. That's today's video for you. As we conclude our discussion about two of the main characters that were played brilliantly by SRK, we at this channel will be further discussing more movie lines, more characters by different directors, different actors performed brilliantly and have been and somehow affected us individually. So before we part ways, I invite you to share your favorite character that you thought SRK played brilliantly and your reasons for the same. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more cinematic adventures that we bring at Scriptomaniac for you. This is Scriptomaniac. Until next time, keep scripting your own story. Thank you.